I'm Brian Westbrook with GeekWire Studios here at AWS reInvent 2025. Joined now with Dev Rishi, the General Manager of AI at Rubrik. Exciting time to be here, Dev. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me, Brian.
I want to get into it. Major security risk with agentic AI. What are some of the things we need to be concerned about and why?
Yeah, well, the why. Let me start with the why.
Okay.
Organizations keep talking about how they're not necessarily seeing the ROI from AI projects necessarily yet today. We see studies about 95% of projects to the others failing. When I joined Rubrik, one of the things that I actually did was I went out and I spoke with over 180 different organizations, IT security leaders. The number one thing I think stopping AI acceleration actually isn't that it's any longer difficult to build the models or difficult to build agents. It's really security and risk. So that's the why. I think if people want to get value out of AI and accelerate, the thing stopping and holding that back today is having a real framework around risk and security. That's why Rubrik's decided to tackle this problem space.
How is it attacking the problem space?
So there's three key issues that we see with risk, and it comes out of the conversations we had, but also our experience first party trying to develop this ourselves. The first challenge that people have when it comes towards AI risk is knowing what's even running.
Yeah.
It's so easy to build AI agents today that anybody can really start to develop them across the organization. How do you track and get a single pane of glass across different platforms and what that is? The second is governance. Now, governance means a lot of different things to different people, but the reality is today, governance sits in a committee meeting somewhere or a document that's hard to check. We need to actually have a platform that has hooks into people's live production traffic and can enforce governance. And then the last thing that Rubrik does is offer something called remediation. So we have always had this mentality around assume breach. Something can go wrong and will go wrong. We think with AI agents, you now have the potential for 10x the damage in 1/10 the time. We launched a feature called AI Agent Rewind. It allows you to undo a destructive action from an agent by using Rubrik's protected backup data. We've packaged all three of these capabilities into something we call the Rubrik Agent Cloud. And we just launched that very recently and announced some of our core integrations this week.
And let's go back to that first pillar. How are you advancing your work in AI agent management? You mentioned the difficulty of just not even knowing what's running in your organization, but managing that. You mentioned single pane of glass. Walk us through that. What does that look like?
Totally. It starts, the base layer of the cake starts with just knowing. It's like being able to go ahead and track what agents are running, what's their blast radius. The way we solve that problem is we both have a gateway that allows us to observe all the LLM traffic, the agent traffics that people have, but we've also built bespoke integrations with the top AI platforms, including AWS Bedrock Agent Core, which we just announced yesterday. That allows us to observe traffic across different platforms and see and populate what we call our agent inventory. It's a definitive list of what agents are running, what tools and data do they have access to, and that's just the start. That provides you the visibility. The next series of things that we do provide you control with our governance pillar, and then the ability to recover and remediate when things go wrong with Rewind.
Let's talk about this AWS Bedrock announcement. Helping accelerate AI agent adoption. How and why, and what are you most excited about in this announcement?
So personally, I've been in the AI machine learning space for over a decade. I was co-founder of a startup that was acquired by Rubrik until this summer, working on it for 4.5 years. We've always been keen on having more organizations democratize AI. The truth, in my view, is that actually now AI is incredibly democratized. It's never been easier to build an agent. It's never been easier to be able to start to code with just a prompt. The challenge that I think in accelerating AI now is having a framework for being able to manage risk. And that is why we have invested, and that's why I'm personally passionate about this direction, is like providing a way, a secure area where you can use to develop and deploy your agents, and knowing that the rest of it essentially is relatively handled for you. That's where also partnerships with AWS and our Bedrock Agent Core integration are crucial, because the truth is AI agents are now permeating every platform technology we see. They're going to be run on AWS, they're going to be run on Bedrock, they're going to be run on other hyperscaler platforms. You're going to have your own custom agents you build and deploy right on your endpoint. So you need to have native hooks into the most popular areas so you can have a turnkey experience for observability.
Now, Dev, you've covered some amazing information. What is next for Rubrik? Obviously a huge presence here on the show floor and throughout Vegas, getting the word out. What are you most excited about? What are you and I going to be talking about on this stage next year?
Yeah, Rubrik's an interesting company to define. I think the term that we often use is resilience. Resilience meant a lot of different things over time. So initially it meant being able to be business resilient in natural disaster, fire, flood. Then it became about cybersecurity and ransomware, the thing you need to be resilient towards an attack. I think over the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be about being resilient to the next generation of the AI workforce. Today, all the employees go through background checks, they're manual, you and I know them, and they operate at human speed. Increasingly, organizations are going to be operating at AI speed, and they're going to need an infrastructure system that can support that. So I think what's next for us is we're going to continue to invest in the core resilience business, cybersecurity, data protection, but we're recognizing that the next generation of wave over the next 3 to 5 years is this AI workforce, and making the resilience message resonate for them.
Certainly can't wait to watch. Dev Rishi, General Manager of AI at Rubrik, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
I'm Brian Westbrook with GeekWire Studios. Thanks for watching.